Okay, we're going to talk about how to find your proper squat stance. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay on your back. You're going to bring your knee up and you're going to pull it to your chest as far as you can. Your leg's going to be fully relaxed. So relax the leg, pull it to your chest. If this feels tight and uncomfortable, that means you're for sure not squatting here. Then you're going to keep that pull to your chest and you're just going to move it out until you feel like a space open up in your hips, or maybe it feels most comfortable. Like for me right there is where it feels most comfortable. Right here feels bound up. I move out, I move out, I move out. It gets released and that feels good right there. So that's where I'd want to squat. I do the same thing on the other side. I pull that knee to my chest to keep it relaxed. This side probably doesn't feel as tight, so it might be tighter on my left side, and I'm going to move it out so I feel more range of motion, which is about right there again. So that's going to be my squat stance. So then I would stand up. I get back into that squat stance. So you have two options: feet straight forward, feet slightly turned out. So feet straight forward is best for if you're an athlete, because as an athlete, you're doing a lot of running around and a lot of stopping and then turning. So if you have your feet turned out and you're practicing this all the time, you're more prone to land like this and be prone to roll your ankle left or right. So you always want to have your feet straight forward. Okay, so that's really important. If you're not an athlete, then you have more freedom to go where it feels most comfortable, which for me, slightly turned out, which is the other reason why I do this, is because it helps me engage my glutes better, and I have a greater range of motion in my hips with that slight turnout of my feet, so I can get lower. And as a power lifter, I want to get that depth, so this is where I would squat. But if you're an athlete, a football player, a basketball player, anything like that, you want to have your feet straight forward. So slight turnout if that's what you want, or feet straight forward if you're more of an athlete, or even if you're an avid hiker or anything like that. This is where you want to go. You're just not going to be able to get as low as you are probably going to get with maybe a slight turnout right here. So then after that, you want to make sure you take your feet, you spread your toes, and you grip the ground, which I've already talked about this in other videos. But if this is your feet, you're going to spread it as far as you can. If this is your big toe, you want to try to get that out and down, and then screw that foot in. So these are your feet. If you have a newspaper, you want to rip the newspaper, so you're essentially doing this with your feet without actually moving them. So you spread them, grab them, rip the newspaper. So with my feet, I spread, I grab them, I rip the newspaper, and my glutes are engaged, and I should feel my glutes firing when I do that. So I can already feel my glutes without even doing anything. And that's how you find your squat stance, and that's also how you engage your feet properly when you're doing a squat.